Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Avernum 6. Last episode we took a look at the area around Almaria. And now it's time to actually go into Almaria itself because, well, we need to head east to the Great Portal to see if they need anything over there. So we shall. But first, Almaria, City of Wine. You near the western gates of Almaria. Almaria is another of Avernum's oldest cities, perched on the west shore of a deep river. It guards the only bridge over this river, and the tolls for crossing have long enriched the city's coffers. Even out here you can hear the cacophonous tumult inside the city walls. Both a home for refugees and the main meeting point for merchants from north and south, Almaria is always a center of activity. A guard stands by the gate, which is closed. Traffic in and out of the Great Cave is highly restricted by order of the castle. You'll have to talk your way in. A soldier stands by the west gate, holding several scrolls. As you watch, a merchant or traveler will occasionally approach him. He asks a few questions, nods, and cries for the gate to be opened. They enter, and the gate closes again. You eventually approach and greet the guard. He notes your insignia. Greetings, soldier. Welcome to Almaria. Because of, the troubles, Mayor Regan has declared that you must have travel orders to enter. Why do I need orders to enter? Not my job to argue with the mayor of Avernum. I just get the orders. Though I think a combination of deserters and drunk soldiers on leave had something to do with it. How are you faring? It's a dull post, but a safe one. I'm in no hurry to go north and fight the Horde. Excuse me, I have to get back to work. He turns to question a small band of refugees. Before you do, I have orders to go to the Great Portal. Would you mind letting me pass, please? He looks at one of his scrolls. He looks at you. He consults the scroll again. Then, on a hunch, he checks a different scroll. Finally, he finds your name. He shouts an order, and the gate slowly begins to open. Sorry for the delay, friend. I don't envy you going to the Great Portal. Working there is... Anyway, welcome to Almaria. Thank you very much. You enter Almaria and get a good look at its busy streets. Merchants direct their lizard-drawn carts through the streets, refugees look for new opportunities, and merchants hunt for ways to make money off of all of them. Not a few people on the streets look a bit tipsy. Almaria is legendary for the quality of its wine, which is, by surface standards, almost bearable. Considering how many soldiers are here, waiting to form caravans and head north to the war, you don't attract any attention at all. It's nice to be able to walk into a city and not have everyone trying to, speak with you or anything. Almaria's city guard is a tired, miserable lot, poorly equipped, constantly dealing with drunk soldiers, merchants' disputes, and angry refugees, not to mention scribane. Your conversation mainly involves you listening to a lot of complaints, along with subtle digs about how easy people in the castle have it. You eventually manage to pull yourself away. Alright then. Training hall doesn't actually have anyone in it, interestingly enough. Let's see. Here's the south wall. Doesn't really look like there's anything of no... Oh! Hello! Mandrake root. Very nice. Nobody's back here. Nobody sees. Okay. That's everything looked at down there. Alright. Hitching post. Commander's quarters. Oh, that's just the guard. There's the commander. Nephilim. There's a large Nephar sitting at this desk. Her armor bears the insignia of a full commander. Nepharim are a sort of Nephilim, much larger but sterile, like mules. Though making that comparison to one's face will likely start a fight. She looks up at you when you enter. Brrr, soldier, come to me for orders? I am Commander Hormarin. If you are free to take missions, I do have one for you. Otherwise, move on. Too much to deal with the refugees and other situations. What is the situation in Almaria? She suddenly looks very suspicious. What? Who sent you? What do you want to know? Everything is under control. Who said it was not? Then she realizes how suspicious she is acting. She tries to calm down. Our situation is under control. For now.
Things get worse with the refugees and scribbing eaters by the day.
How are the refugees doing?
Well, for now, but there are more every day. Mayor Regan is generous to them. Too much so, I think. But as long as they have the hope of escaping by the Great Portal, they are calm. They will all be gone soon enough.
Tell me about the scribbane eaters.
This is a problem that gets worse. The scribbane kills hunger pains and makes you feel strong. It draws the desperate, and it gets hold.
Is there any way to be free of it?
Once it grabs you, it takes much time and pain before the hurting stops. Most don't have the strength. They just keep getting doses one every long while to keep the dark times away. But if you do not take it long enough and don't give in, the herb will eventually release its control.
Just like any other drug. Commander Horman looks up at you impatiently.
What else do you want? I am Commander. I have much to do all the time, every hour, every minute.
Can I get supplies or training here?
I am a commander, not your commander. Not responsible for you. Trade with Serilda across the way, or go back to the castle for supplies.
You said you had a mission for me.
Yes, no time for a long talk. No time to waste. You are here. If I can use you, I will. Northeast of Almaria is old abandoned fort. Fort Haladon. Full of scribbane eaters now. A desperate, hungry bunch. We did not mind them when they were few. But it is a large settlement now. They sell the herb. They grow it. It's too big now. Causes harm. Embarrasses us. They must be stopped.
Stopped how?
Driven out. Don't care how. There are leaders. The growers probably must die. Think that will be the only way. You must maintain the law. You must keep them from mocking us. When they grow the herb no more, you have done well.
And who is their leader?
I do not know. I've had no luck getting my own agents in.
I have no problems with this whatsoever. I mean, stopping drug peddlers from peddling their drugs. I agree with this. What have we got on the job board here? Smugglers have long tried to use hidden tunnels to evade the just and righteous tariffs of Almaria. We have reason to believe such a tunnel is being dug out west of the city. Find the excavation and kill the smugglers. A bounty will be paid for this assistance by Commander Hormarin. I think we found it. A band of armed and particularly dangerous brigands are hiding out in the southwest extent of the honeycomb. They occasionally emerge and harass refugees and merchants. They can be found by traveling north from the portal Caldera. Find their hideout and force them to pay for their crime. Mayor Regan of Almaria will reward you for your efforts. Should be easy. A heavy leather scroll has been tacked to the job board. It is addressed to X, Tower Colony. That's all it says. X? Odd. I think we found that tunnel. You report your defeat of the smugglers to the commander.
You did well. Here is the bounty promised.
He gives you a pouch of coins. And a level up. 9. Alright, save up the rest for now, I think. Alright. Looks like an inn. There are several merchants talking quietly here. You can't tell whether they are haggling, trading rumors, or just complaining about the difficulties of life on the road. When they realize that you are nearby, they get quiet very quickly. Their conversation doesn't resume until you move away. Considering how much caravan traffic Almaria has received over the years, it is surprising that the inn is so small. It must only be the merchants that stay here. The guards sleep with the caravans. The innkeeper has a heavy polished club hanging from his belt. In these rough times, he's making it clear that he won't tolerate any trouble.
I'm Tancred, my friends, of the Almarian Arms. How can I help you?
Anything interesting happening in town? Tancred looks annoyed.
I don't have time to gossip. I don't spread rumors. I run an honest business.
Oh, maybe this will help your memory? He takes your money and pockets it.
Well, let's see. No, I don't remember anything.
Well, sometimes you take a gamble and it doesn't pay off. Can I get a room? He gives you a look of distaste.
No offense, but it's usually merchants that sleep here. Your kind, with all due respect, stays at the barracks. And anyway, we're full.
Well, what's on the menu? Wine, basically. I don't need anything else. Well then, gee, don't let me keep you from your business. Before you can respond, Tancred goes to the other end of the inn to take someone's order. Yeah, this is a really small inn. Huh. It is kind of surprising, in all honesty. Don't need any of those things. Let's see. Church of the Prevailing Righteousness. Could there be any better name? You look around the Church of the Prevailing Righteousness, Avernum's largest and most respected sect of battle priests. It is an impressive building, all slabs of marble and soaring arches. It's completely clean. The acolytes here must be very dedicated. You see no signs of mold, dirt, or refugees. The abbot is very old, but he takes great pains not to show it. He walks tall and easily bears the weight of the massive blade at his hips. He greets you in a loud, clear voice. I am Abbot Erlanger. Welcome to this shrine of calm in a sea of trouble. Know that in this time of war there is one place where courage will never fail. Tell me about your church. We are the Church of the Prevailing Righteousness. We believe in justice, honor, and freedom, and the crushing through use of arms of those who would deny us any of the three. Our faith has a long and honored history in Avernum, and we have sent more priests to hold back the Slith menace than any other sect or belief system. How long have you been active in Avernum? From the first day. Avernum has long had a powerful attraction to us due to the many foes it offers for the battling. In the time of Shades, I was one of the few who stood up to the corrupting influence of the invading spirits. That is not boasting, it is simple truth. So this church exists to wage war. Or enforce the peace, or to train others in preparation for the next war. We believe that peace is only an illusion, a time to prepare for the next struggle. It is only in being victorious against those who oppress us that our freedom and happiness is sustained. Do your priests ever heal? Are you mad? Of course! That is the first task of my brethren on the battlefront. We believe in honorable victory. Tending to your wounded properly is one of the most important steps to that end. Of course, when we get the chance, we are always happy to call down a few bolts of holy fire. Of course. Abbot Erlanger chats with you about the recent unhappy events. You note he constantly watches the door in case someone breaks in and attacks. He has a large sword at his belt, no doubt in preparation for just such an event. Can you teach me spells? You can teach many spells. Learn Mass Curing, learn Ward of Steel, at least. And improve Mass Healing a bit. Cost a lot of coin, but I'm fine with this for now. How are you contributing to the war? We have sent most of our acolytes and novices to the front to fight the Slith Horde. All of our faith dream and pray for such an opportunity, a chance to prove the sincerity of their beliefs in battle. I am tending this church mostly alone now. I wish I could join them, but I am... He runs his fingers through his grey thinning hair. It was decided that I should stay here and train acolytes. Sadly, this has resulted in a bit of a problem. Well, what is the problem? I am the abbot here, the master of this church, and the Church of the Prevailing Righteousness determines the leaders of its temples through... well, outsiders might find it odd. Any novice may deem an abbot too weak to serve the church properly, and demand the abbot step down. And if the abbot does not, then there is a duel. What kind of duel? A violent one, using weapons and chance. Serious injury or death is almost always the result, for one or both participants. And as if I have to ask, how does this affect you? There is a novice just west of the Great Portal. Novice Zimmern. He knows I am almost alone here. He wants to challenge me. He is young, and I am not as young. The discontinuity in the leadership of the church would be harmful in the extreme. That is why I want you to go to Zimmern and convince him that he would be better off going elsewhere, founding his own temple. Are you really allowed to fend off a challenge that way? Of course! You don't think that cultivating allies and using trickery are legitimate ways to win a war, inside or outside the church? We are warriors, but we are not simple. Novice Zimmern would already have hired people to undermine me if he were not young and simple. Where can I find Zimmern? One of his acolytes sent word that he is west of the Great Portal.
Zimmern no longer inspires great loyalty among his followers.
Do you want Zimmern dead?
Of course not, that would be a waste. Let him live, if possible. He still has much to offer us once he learns his place. A hearty beating should do it. Of course, if he is foolish enough not to submit...
Erlanger shrugs. We'll see what we can do. You need not worry. And I'm not going to go down there right now. Let's see. What's in here? The mayor, I think. This old woman wears the sash of a mayor of Avernum, and considering how things have been going, with the abandonment of Cotra and the loss of Formello, those sashes are becoming rarer every day. She is obviously extremely nervous. She jumps when you enter, and she can't stop casting nervous glances at the door in the south wall. The goblet in front of her is half full of fine Almarian wine, and it will likely be empty soon.
Who are you, soldier? I am Regan, Mayor of Almaria, and my time is limited.
I want to know something about Almaria.
You jest! This is not like the early days when any adventurer could walk in and trouble the leaders of Avernum with trivia. Move on, or I will have my guards eject you.
You take her at her word. As you turn to leave, you see her cast a glance at the south door. Something through there truly worries her. I'm gonna save before I try to take a look. Alright, let's see. No, we can't even get in. Okay. That might be a way in, though. We'll take a look there later. The courtyard borders on the east gate of Almaria, which leads to the bridge across the river. For most people, it is necessary to pay a toll to pass. Fortunately, soldiers are exempt. You'll still need to get them to open the gate. A soldier watches you through a window in the building to the north. We'll check that later. Fine Almarian wines. You meet the wine merchant of Almaria. Almarian wine is well known throughout the world, both above and below the surface. Many a connoisseur on the surface has braved it to be able to say he or she tried Avernite wine. The merchant is a short, portly man. Seems pleased to have you in his store.
Ah, a soldier, not a refugee or a beggar. Someone who might actually pay a fair price for quality goods. I am Gnome, and this is my shop. Though, sadly, I've lost access to a large part of my stock.
Tell me about Almarian wine.
Oh, but do you have a spare week? For that is how long it will take you to describe the wonders of Almarian wine. The pride of the underworld, served on the finest tables of both Avernum and the Empire. Of course, your average refugee would not appreciate a fine beverage if I used a bottle of it to smash his thick skull. Such is the sad position of one in my line in such difficult times.
You don't care much for the refugees much, I gather.
Oh, don't misunderstand me. They are unfortunate souls, driven from their homes and work by the tides of war and hunger. I only wish so many of them had not been driven here. At least the great portal will carry them away soon enough, if it did not... Ugh.
If it did not what? They drink Almarian wine on the surface?
Of course! Many an adventurous connoisseur has wanted to see what life in Avernum is like, to eat and drink what we do.
But do they actually like our fungus wine?
Well, it can be an acquired taste, and it can be hard to find our wine on the surface in quantities necessary to acquire it. They still prefer wine made of grapes, for some reason.
I can imagine.
Gnome favors you with a well-practiced smile. Still pleased, as always, to serve a higher class of customer. Tell me if you would like to sample what remains of my wares.
Let me see what you have for sale. Wine, Almarian wine, and even a bit of gremlin wine. What happened to most of your stock?
Well, it is unfortunate. I had the chance to get a case of gremlin wine. Amazing stuff, truly delicious, and with a subtle bouquet of wild magic. I purchased a case and stored it downstairs. And then, well, the case or the magic on it drew pests. There are rats. Rats downstairs among all my precious wines, and I need someone to clear them out.
Well, perhaps I could help. He looks you over and shakes his head.
No, this job requires delicacy, care. I haven't heard enough about you to trust you waving blades and throwing fireballs around my stock. Perhaps one day.
Really? Okay, fine. Merchant's Bazaar. Almaria is the meeting point for caravans from north and south of Avernum. Merchants haul their wares to the city. Then they come to this building to buy and sell goods, wholesale. You get many annoyed looks when you enter. Even in wartime, tons of goods are traded. Representatives from the army and the castle buy metal and cloth. Mages from the Tower Colony and Patrick's Tower haggle for crystals and herbs. Since you don't have any use for a ton of wood or iron, you won't be able to do much trading here. You'll have to find a shop somewhere else. There are several merchants talking quietly here. You can't tell whether they are haggling, trading rumors, or just complaining about the difficulties of life on the road. When they realize that you are nearby, they get very quiet very quickly. The conversation doesn't resume until you move away. Alright then, I get the point. Pay bridge toll here, no haggling. The northeast corner of Almaria looks like it was rebuilt only in the last few years. The walls look much newer and are not entirely completed. However, they have been put to use housing the many refugees in the city. It is as noisy and busy here as elsewhere in the city, but there is also great poverty and desperation, and a variety of unpleasant odors. The refugees watch you silently as you pass, making no move to ask for aid or charity. You doubt that they have been treated overly warmly at the hand of the city guard. Refugee Quadrant. Refugees stay here, Almarians stay out. You notice one of the poor refugees is watching you. Most of the crowd doesn't seem interested in you, but this one man is definitely staring at you. As you go about your business, he follows you. Then, just as you are about to ask him what he is doing, he walks up to you.
Excuse me, I am Callaghan. I have a message for you.
Tell me about yourself, Callaghan.
I am only a poor refugee. I am looking for work. I do not want charity. So when someone offered me money to give you a message, I did not refuse.
Tell me about the person who gave you the message.
It was night and he wore robes, so I'm not sure. He had a lisp, though. Like a slith, maybe, but gentler. That is all I know. I'm sorry.
That you still want to speak with him makes Callaghan extremely nervous.
I'm sorry, I just had a message to give you, is all. I did not want to trouble you.
And what is the message?
I was told that a soldier of your description would be coming, and when I saw you, to tell you this.
Yes?
Someone wants to see you. Someone with information about where Krez is. About the Slith Krez is. He wants to meet you.
Meet me where?
There is an abandoned tannery to the southeast. There, they will be waiting. That is all I know. I am sorry. That is all I know. Now I must go. I hope I have helped.
He runs off. Sounds suspicious, and I half expect a trap. There are several refugees nearby. You eavesdrop on their conversation. I've heard that there's a drake hiding in the ruins not far southeast of here, with a big pile of treasure. If only I hadn't had to pawn my sword. Don't go to the castle food depot, they won't give you anything. But their storerooms are completely empty. Well, they're not. You should take that problem to Edmund. He'll listen to you. Nobody else will. Okay, then. That guard watches a gate. Not much out here. I mean, I can take those bracers, but that's it. North passage here. It's another barracks. I think this is the merchant. Yep, Cyrilda's Fine Arms. There is a small trading post here that mainly sells to passing merchants, caravan guards, and soldiers. As befits the tenor of the times, most of the store space has been filled with weaponry and armor. The proprietor, sensing an easy sale or two, approaches you. Welcome. I am Cyrilda. You seem like someone who can appreciate a quality piece of metalwork, something you can rely on when the Slith Horde is knocking at the door. You seem worried about the Slith Zerakai in our party. Well, of course. I need to stay in business, after all. If we were being attacked by demons or cave lobsters, I'd urge you to defend yourself against demons or cave lobsters. Not that I have anything against the Slith Zerakai, meant no offense to you. Is business good? Well, it's good in the sense that I am exchanging lots of weapons for lots of gold. But since I can't then take that gold and use it to get much food, I'd say I'm not entirely free of fear. Entirely reasonable! Nice to see someone who has that kind of, perspective on things. You think the Slith Horde will come down here? I don't know. If they can hold them at the Eastern Gallery, there might be hope. And if not... She shakes her head. I've heard rumors that if things get bad enough, Mayor Regan will collapse the bridge. Can you imagine? That would possibly cause problems. More than you might think.
I see you're still around. You definitely seem like someone who knows the importance of quality, properly maintained weaponry and armor, especially if the Slithzerkai are trying to kill you.
What do you have for sale? Quite a bit of armor and weapons. Nothing we need. Well, we do have some things we can sell. Get a bit more coin for this. And there we go. Thank you very much. Alright. All that's left is here. Various refugees. Sorry about that. Ignore that. Said to talk to someone. The refugees must have someone around here to talk to. There, Edmund. At first, this aging refugee looks no different from all of the others. He sits quietly by the wall, staring into a fire. His clothes are dirty and torn. He seems exhausted. But then you notice that he is rarely alone. Other refugees constantly approach him, have whispered conversations, and disappear again. Sometimes he hands him fruit from the basket by his side. In fact, it's odd that he has food. Eventually, he notices you and waits for you to approach. Hello, soldier. I am Edmund. We don't see many of your lot in this unhappy corner of Avernum. Did you need something? You are one of the refugees. I am, though as you may have observed, the others here regard me with some respect. They often come to me for assistance or advice. It takes up a lot of my time, but it doesn't bother me. I have nothing else to do. Why do they come to you? In Kotra, where I am from, I was a person of some influence. I was also, if I may flatter myself, respected. Kotra has been abandoned by the army, and I don't wish to discuss my lost life there. It's too painful. However, my reputation remains, so the refugees come to me. How do you advise them? There are many poor, desperate, scared people here. People who need guidance and reassurance and help in settling arguments over their meager possessions. I simply provide a calm voice. Also, in very desperate situations, I share some of this pitiful basket of food here. You notice that the food in the basket is wrinkled and sometimes a little moldy, but still edible. How are the refugees treated here? Decently, as these things go. It is far worse in Darman and Silvar. The people here are proud, hard-working Avernites, not rabble and beggars. They deserve... They deserve what? I apologize, I was about to rant. What I meant to say was that Mayor Regan at least tries to treat them decently. She is better than most. Yes, soldier, do you need something else? You are aware that all of the other refugees have grown very quiet. They watch your conversation intently. I see that you have some food there. This sad little basket? Yes, some merchants and travelers have made donations, and I have used it to obtain this miserable little store of fruit. I share it with those whose situation has become truly desperate. Why don't they go to the food depot? Because the nearest one is a day's walk to the southwest, and that is a long way to travel and a lot of energy to expend to be told no. Fair enough, I suppose. How do they get any food at all? They trade away their few remaining possessions, they forage, they fish, they beg. Also, a trickle of food comes down through the great portal. Some of that is distributed among refugees. Be thankful for that. Without that supply, we would soon all succumb to despair. You accept donations? I do. If you in your travels obtained a spare bag of mushroom meal, I would happily accept it and make sure it ends up where it would do the most good. Bear in mind that I can't pay you any money. Most likely, doing good will have to be your reward. Well, I have good news. I have a bag of meal for you. I could give you all of them, but I'll at least give you one for now. Edmund accepts the meal with great gratitude. I thank you. This does much to improve the lot of the people here. As expected, he doesn't pay you any money. Doing good is enough, I think. I've checked out most of it. The only other place to look at is all the way around here. There was a door over here. I want to see what's in it. That can't be picked. So something's going on in Almaria, but I have no idea what. Alright, let me just talk and see if we can get through. After a short wait in line, you approach the window. A young, pleasant woman sits on the other side, counting a tall stack of silver coins. She deposits them in one of the jars behind her and then greets you. Welcome, soldier. I am Tardif. I assume you are here to have the gate opened? Tell me about the bridge. She is pleased that you asked. The Almaria Bridge. One of the first bridges in Avernum. It has a long and storied history.
It is also one of Almaria's main sources of income. Few in our history have had the privilege of passing without paying the proper toll.
A long and storied history, really.
Of course. First it was built, and then people crossed it. Alright, maybe not very storied, but it is pretty.
Okay then. Ever have any trouble collecting the toll?
Every day. Everyone wants to haggle or give a reason why they shouldn't have to pay. Fortunately, I have the guards here. Keeps me from long arguments. I even had to charge 3 Empire envoys not long ago. And they were furious, I can tell you, but I... Oh. Oops.
Oops. What?
I'm sorry, I misremembered. There were no Empire envoys at all. Never mind, my mistake.
She stammers a bit more. How odd. I'm starting to get a suspicion about what's going on here. And yet I don't need to pay the toll.
Not at all, not a coin. I hope you understand what an honor this is. For Almarians, not charging a toll or a tariff... Oh, it is a struggle for us.
Tardif, guardian of the Almaria bridge, smiles brightly at you.
Always nice to see a soldier. You need anything else from me?
What is the fee to pass?
Normally 10 coins per person, 3 for lizards, 15 for wagons. But for soldiers it's always free. Almaria wants to contribute fully to the war effort.
Can you open the gate for me? She flutters her eyelashes a little.
You had but to ask.
She waves a hand. A moment later the east gate begins to open for you. Some merchants eye the open gate jealously. They're tempted to try to slip through for free, but they know they're in for a beating from the guards if they try it. Anything else you can do for me?
Oh, but you are a flirt. No, I only watch the gate. Better go through. Those merchants look like they might run for it any minute.
We'll go through eventually, oh Tardif of the tariffs. But first I want to look through the stairways down here and here. And see what's underneath Almaria. We'll do that in the next episode. Till then, I'm Chester44. That is Ortas, Michael, Amar, and Rika. This has been an Avernum 6 Let's Play. And I shall see you all next time.